Hi folks, I'm just here in Bishop Aukland. I've just been up for a meeting and I drove past this brilliant tower called the Auckland Tower, which I've never heard of. It's brilliant. So I thought I'd come up here. I'm going to make one of my mini vlogs and I'm going to time it to do it whilst the guy who's using some kind of jigsaw or bandsaw or something stops using it. So I've just been meeting with Learning Curve. If you don't know Learning Curve, they're a training education provider that work nationally, and they do some quite interesting things around funding. So they work with the apprenticeship levy, the adult education budget and stuff like that. But actually the conversation we just had, which was interesting, is about how they engage with the housing sector, and the housing sector's interest in what they do. And it's kind of twofold. One, you've got this thing where we can provide training and employment opportunities and education and things like that to residents, and then also we've got a thing where we can provide the same offer to staff to provide a better service to residents. And it kind of became clear to me that everything we do in the housing sector actually is ultimately to provide a better service to residents. I've been working with Learning Curve for the past year on developing a new qualification. I believe they call it the Tenant Support qualification, but I've always called it the Frontline Housing qualification. I'll find out what it's properly called and put it in a link somewhere. And the idea is to upskill staff who work in a frontline capacity, but not necessarily housing officers, but actually people like cleaners, repairs operatives, grounds maintenance staff, that kind of thing. Because these people have lots and lots of day-to-day contact, but often they're not given the same sort of level of say interpersonal skills and training that a housing officer might get. So, a carpenter may actually spend all day in house with a vulnerable person and not really know anything about that situation. So we worked on this qualification, like I say, I've been calling it the Frontline Housing qualification, that's specifically aimed at upskilling those operatives to give them skills around mental health awareness, dementia awareness, dealing with difficult behaviour, safeguarding, that kind of stuff. And I think it's something that we should be embracing as a sector, that we can provide a lot better service for our residents if we take a slightly more, and I dread to use this word because I use it all the time, but a slightly more holistic view of who's actually in contact with our residents every day. So I think it's a really interesting thing, and I'm hoping that as a sector we embrace it. What's interesting as well, because of how Learning Curve work, that the qualification is actually funded by the adult education budget, so an organisation could get all of their frontline staff qualified and it wouldn't actually cost them anything, which is surely a win-win situation. I don't know why anyone would not do it. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll put a link somewhere here for more information about it, but it gets released this month. So yeah, I definitely think it's something that's worth looking into anyway. So in the meantime, I'll leave you with the view. Look at that.